Welcome to this week's edition of PSSN Sports Update. I'm Ryan Lam.
And I'm DJ Bauer.
It was arguably one of the best cards in recent vintage for UFC that was not ruined by failed weight cuts. We pick up the action in the third fight of the main card in UFC 236. Khalil Roundtree showed up and showed out after a training camp in Thailand against Eric Anders. Roundtree was able to use his Muay Thai stance and movement to confuse Anders and chop away his lead leg en route to a unanimous decision victory. It was then followed by two Fight of the Night or even Fight of the Year contenders. Israel The Last Stylebender Adesanya faced his biggest test yet in his unbeaten career against Kelvin Gastelum. Although Gastelum was able to force the issue and connect at times, Adesanya kept his cool, looked for his shots, and teed off on Gastelum in the fifth and championship round to secure the victory and the interim middleweight belt. The final fight of the night saw underdog Dustin Poirier finally realizing his potential in a fight against the featherweight king Max Holloway for the interim lightweight belt. Both were able to fight in a high volume, but it was Poirier's more powerful strikes that brought Max's 13-fight win streak to an end, bring home a well-deserved belt, and wrap up an amazing card in Atlanta.
Penn State football fans got to see their first glimpse of the 2019 team this past weekend. Saturday marked the annual Blue-White Spring Game, the first Penn State football exhibition since the team's loss in the Citrus Bowl last January. The Blue-White game gave many of the roster's second and third stringers a chance to shine, and a handful of players took the opportunity and ran with it. Freshman running back Noah Cain shone the brightest, as the former four-star recruit put up 44 yards and 2 touchdowns in his 12 rushing attempts. The highlight of the day came late in the third quarter when fifth-year wide receiver Dan Chisena hauled in a 59-yard touchdown bomb to put the Blue Squad up 16-7. But the highlight was not the touchdown catch itself. Rather, it was what occurred directly after the play. The entire team mobbed the field and celebrated with a former walk-on, as it was announced that he would receive a football scholarship on the spot. Chisena previously spent time on the football team as a freshman before departing to participate in track and field instead, but Chisena returned to football as a junior because he missed it too much. The big storyline coming into the game was the question of who will replace Trace McSorley as Penn State's quarterback in the fall, Tommy Stevens or Sean Clifford. While Stevens did not see any action on Saturday, Clifford put up a solid performance, passing for 118 yards and a touchdown in a 24-7 Blue Squad victory. Head coach James Franklin was impressed with Clifford, but acknowledged Steven as well, stating, quote, "Tommy's done everything right. Our coaching staff has all the belief in Tommy, but we also have belief in all the other guys as well. I'd like to name a starting quarterback as soon as I can."
The NHL playoffs are underway, and there are some surprising results. None of those would be bigger than the wild card in the Columbus Blue Jackets decimating the 1 seed and the President's Cup winner, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and leading 3-0. The Jackets were able to ride a hot goalie in Sergei Bobrovsky, and the Lightning not having Nikita Kucherov in their latest 3-1 defeat did not help. With most matchups tied, the other standard result would be the Pittsburgh Penguins being down 3-0 against the New York Islanders. After the first game of the series resulted in an overtime, the Isles turned it on and was able to contain Sidney Crosby and company well, making comebacks from being 1 goal down to take this commanding series lead. Staying at the Metropolitan Division, the defending champs in the Washington Capitals were handling their business against the Carolina Hurricanes. A strong first period was all the Caps needed to secure the 4-2 win in Game 1, while it would take the 1 seed overtime to finish off Game 2 by way of a goal from Brooks Orpik.
It's been rough goings on the diamond for Penn State, as the baseball and softball teams have gone a combined 2-8 since last Tuesday. Baseball started off the week with a bang, as the Nittany Lions capped off a 16-15 home victory over Youngstown State in walk-off fashion last Tuesday night, but it all went downhill from there. Penn State gave up 7 runs in the final 4 innings of Wednesday night's home game against Pitt, losing 7-2. That was followed up by a home sweep at the hands of Nebraska, as the Cornhuskers stymied Penn State's offense all weekend, winning 3-2 on Friday, 4-2 in Saturday's early game, and 3-1 in Game 2 of Saturday's doubleheader. The baseball team will be back in action on Wednesday night for a home bout with West Virginia. Softball has been more of the same, as the team started the week with an exciting 6-4 win at home over Ohio State last Tuesday, but things quickly fell apart from there, as the Nittany Lions lost Game 2 of Tuesday's doubleheader 12-1. Just like baseball, the softball team was swept at home this weekend. This time, Rutgers was to blame, as the Scarlet Knights won by scores of 6-1, 3-0, and 5-3. Softball will look to rebound, as the Nittany Lions will head to College Park next week for a 3-game series with Maryland. So obviously a lot of exciting stuff has been happening in sports this week. What are you looking forward to coming up in the next week?
Well, in the next week, in Tuesday, Wednesday coming up, it's the quarterfinals of the Champions League. My team's still in it, Manchester United. They're one goal down against one of the best teams in the world, hands down Barcelona. But after that PSG come back, anything could happen. And I still have belief in them. What about you, DJ?
Well, the NFL draft is just a few days away. A lot of prospects out there. Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams. Going to be interesting to see where all the dominoes fall. Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Sports Update. For Ryan Lam, I'm DJ Bauer.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.